Right, so today I've got a review for you of the Lomo motorcycle luggage that I have been using on the first part of my motorcycle trip around the world on my Fireblade. Right, so I will start with the panniers. They are roll top type of panniers, similar design to the roll top dry bags. They are made of the PVC material and all the seams are welded, not stitched, and this is to make sure that they stay 100% waterproof. And in fact, I used these bags for the first 3 months of my trip, and they always stayed waterproof, even when there were days when I was riding for hours in torrential rain, and they always stayed waterproof.
The views are pretty nice, as you can see, but I'm absolutely soaked. It calmed down a little now. It's not actually raining just now, but the past couple hours I felt like I was in the shower. Thumbs up to Lomo, my luggage. Everything is bone dry inside, so thumbs up.
Maybe one thing I will say is that you need to make sure that you roll the top at least 3 times, and actually it says so in the description on the Lomo website, so you always need to make sure that you roll the top at least 3 times for them to stay waterproof. Another big bonus is the price. These panniers are listed on the official Lomo website for about £50 and about £60 on Amazon, so that makes them some of the cheapest soft panniers in the market. But that does not mean that they are bad. The reason why the price is so low is that Lomo, when you order Lomo panniers, they come directly from Lomo, so they are cutting the costs of the distributors. So that allows them to keep this cost down. These panniers are 30 liters each, that's 60 liters combined, so you can fit quite a lot in them. As I mentioned, I used them in the first 3 months of my around the world trip, so I rode with them through Europe, down to Turkey, through Georgia, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, China, and to Pakistan. When I got to Pakistan, one day I decided to repack my luggage and put all my heavy things in the panniers. I wanted to do that to distribute the weight a bit better and keep the heavy weight lower down in my bike. So I decided to move things like tools, spare chains, spare sprockets, all the heavy things in the panniers. And it was fine at first, but then a few days later I ended up on some really bumpy roads, off-road kind of thing. Rocks, gravel, was very, very bumpy. And I think that was just too much for the panniers, because I overloaded them and these bumpy roads, and so one of the smaller straps just broke off. I managed to secure it with one of the ratchet straps that I had with me, but eventually that became too much of a pain. Every time I needed to access the panniers, I had to undo this and then redo it again. That was just too much time consuming. So eventually I decided to just buy a new set of panniers, some cheap ones for $70 when I got to India. Another downside for me was that even before this strap broke off, even then it was quite time consuming to access them. Because of the roll top design, first you have to unclip them on both sides and then loosen the straps that go over the top, so even then it was a little time consuming. And another downside for me was the lack of small pockets, and this is because if Lomo wanted to add the side pockets, they would need to stitch them most likely, and currently all the seams are welded, and this is to make sure that they stay waterproof. So if they wanted to add some side pockets, then that would probably compromise on the waterproofness of the panniers. So that's probably the reason why they don't have any side pockets, but for me it was quite a big disadvantage. So I guess it depends what you are looking for and what's the most important for you. If you are looking for the panniers that need to be waterproof, then I would definitely recommend them. But if you're looking for the panniers with the side pockets, or if you don't like the roll top design and you can perhaps compromise on the waterproofness, then I would maybe look at the different options. Okay, so moving on to the tank bag. Similar as panniers, the tank bag is also a roll top type of bag, and it also always stayed waterproof for me. What I liked about it is that it didn't have a set shape. I could make it as big or as small as I wanted to, depending on how much stuff I put inside. I think the maximum capacity is 15 liters, so that's quite a lot of room. It has a transparent component at the top for the map or for the GPS, and also you can convert it into a rucksack, so that's quite handy. tank bag lasted slightly longer for me than the panniers. I had to replace it after my accident in India. It was a magnetic version that I had, and when I crashed my bike, it came off. Basically, I think I forgot to secure it with the strap. It comes with the strap at the top that you can loop it around the headstock, but I think I forgot to do that. And when it came off the bike, when I crashed, it ended up with quite a big hole, so it was no longer waterproof. And also, as well as the magnetic version, there is also a standard version with the straps that you can mount to pretty much any bike. Tank bag was a similar design as the panniers with the roll top opening, and this was again to make sure that the bag stays 100% waterproof. But the disadvantage that came with this was not being able to open it quickly and the lack of side pockets. So again, it depends what you are looking for. If you are looking for a bag that is 100% waterproof and maybe you want to keep some important documents inside or your camera equipment or anything that you don't want to get wet, then I would definitely recommend it. At the moment, it's listed for, I think, £46 on the official Lomo website, so it's not too pricey. So finally, the duffel bag. It was the 40 liters version that I used, and similar as the tank bag and the panniers, it comes with the roll top opening. But in this case, I actually found it easy to find what I was looking for, as it opens all across the top and the opening is quite big and wide. It also has all seams RF welded and not stitched, and this is to ensure that it stays waterproof, and it mostly did. So this bag actually lasted me the whole time until now, so that's 10 months of constant use through Europe, Asia and Australia. In the end, it started showing quite a fair amount of use, and actually I did put some sharp object inside, like spare clutch cables and spare throttle cables. The ends of these cables are quite sharp, so eventually they ended up piercing through the bag, so because of that it was no longer waterproof. But for the price that it's listed, at the moment it's listed for £26 on the Lomo website. I can't really fault it for this price. And they also have different sizes. Like I said, I had a 40 liters version, but it also comes in 20, 30, 40 and I think 60 liters. So you can get whatever size you need. And so I think that's it. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. And if you found this review helpful, please subscribe to my channel, and there will be more reviews coming in the future. So stay tuned, and thank you for watching.